Three, two, one, rolling. All right. Who are you?
My name is Thomas Gaddis, and I am the youngest of four, two older sisters, and I have a twin brother, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
All right. So I'm going to ask you your first question today. What were some of the challenges or difficulties you faced during your childhood? And were you able to overcome them?
Well, I'd say some of the challenges that I faced growing up was just that I was different, very apparently different. As I tell people, I have always been who I am. What you see today is what you get. I've always been me. And so that was very different than what at the time was very acceptable for young men, little boys to look like, sound like, act like. I just was not your typical little boy, nor your typical child in many ways. So I was just different, And I think I dealt with being different by just making sure that I told myself that I could still do whatever I wanted to do. I was going to do what I wanted to do, and I did it unabashedly. And I had a lot of support. I think my parents were, I think they questioned a lot of things when I was growing up, just out of protection, out of wanting to make sure that I was safe, that there weren't people out there who wanted to hurt me or say mean things to me, but you can't avoid that. They did their best, but I think I just pushed through it. And I think I developed a lot of hard edges when I was younger. I think today I'm a lot softer than what I was when I was younger. I'll say that.
All right. So I want you to answer this with your gut. How does a flower grow?
Ooh. How does a flower grow? With love. With love, with, the things it needs, but most of all, love.
All right. All right. So I'm going to ask you to give me a number from 1 to 100.
We'll do 35.
What's your biggest regret in life?
Hmm. My biggest regret. Well, first I'd say that I always, for a long time, I thought that, regretting things was something that you just shouldn't do. Like, why would you regret it? You made a decision and you stuck with that decision. So why regret it? As I've gotten older, I've come to realize that regret is learning. It is an opportunity to make another decision, say that if this ever presents itself again, that I will make different decisions. So, that being said, I think one of the things I regret most would be not pushing myself harder to move outside of my comfort zone a lot sooner. I think I got into a space where I felt safe and I felt okay, and I allowed myself to just get a little stagnant for a while.
All right. Give me another number from 1 to 100 that is not 35.
73.
When have you caused the most harm to yourself?
Ooh, that's a little heavy. So, should have remembered that. Uh, I would say that I started causing the most harm to myself probably, was it like my freshman year in college when I was very much so comparing myself to everyone else around me. Again, I had been very different, was always very different. And now all of a sudden I'm surrounded by people who are also very different. And I'm not in my zone. I'm all of a sudden I was unaware of who I was and what my life was going to look like, and that allowed a lot of fear to come in. And so during that particular period, I became exceptionally depressed. Um, I had a really hard time, and I was very suicidal for about mm, 2 years. It was really, really difficult, and something I would never wish upon anyone. But yeah, that I thought about it. I never acted on it, but it was a thing that was kind of constantly in the background. It was like day in and day out, go to sleep, thinking about it, wake up thinking about it, wondering, well, first, why did you wake up? And secondly, well, is today going to be the day? So, yeah, I think that 2006, 2005, 2006, those are two very difficult years.
All right. And the culminating moment today. How do you define legacy, and what would you have your legacy be in this world?
Legacy to me is memory. It's the stories that people are gonna tell about you when you are no longer here, and those stories will make up who you are to people who come after you, to your family, to your children's children, should you have children, to their friends, to your community. And so you build this legacy through the way you interact with people around you every day, the relationships that you have, and I want my legacy to be that I showed up every day exactly as I am, unabashedly, and I loved. And I gave every single thing that I had to give to those who were in my care. That's my legacy.
All right. You did great. Cut.